Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. All right. So welcome. This is DameSmiff, and I'm here to talk to you guys about what it's like being an independent musician and why you should be aware of things in your life that are more to your life than music itself. So typically, what I see happen with a lot of people when they are starting out their music career is that their focus is on performing and learning the music and not necessarily learning how to apply that into performing it for an audience as a product to sell. Now, the reason why that's important to understand is because the way we're consuming music today is a lot bigger than just the song, than just your instrument and how well you perform on it. So today, the musician is typically going to be judged on their brand, their marketing, as well as their communication to and from their audience. A lot of the times, this isn't really given as a dose of information for the young musician, especially coming up in school, unless you've gone under the tutelage or mentorship of somebody who has the experience, right? But most of you average musicians out there, you're going to be focusing on learning the music and not necessarily the application of it to the real world. Now, unless you have someone that's going to plug this into your ear and put this kind of warning or kind of dose of wisdom in front of you, you're not going to understand that while you're learning music, you should be getting skills and learning how to network and learning how to use those skills and your networking skills to build yourself a product or a business or something that you can invest into to allow yourself to develop as an artist. Now, this is super important for young musicians, but this can be taken at any point in your career because I've seen this lack in people who have been in the music industry for, tens of 20 of years to the people coming after me. So the reason why I'm making this video is so that the people after me can understand this, and then the people before me can build upon their wisdom as they speak to the younger musicians, and we spread our knowledge from one genre to another. Now, the main point I want you to really take away from this video, be it if you're young or old or experienced or inexperienced, is that you should give yourself a little bit of grace and understanding that there's going to be a learning curve to this. It's not a turnkey type of career or environment or industry that you'll be involving yourself in. Most of the music industry is going to be based on your business and work ethic. So depending on your goals, how high you set it, and how hard you're willing to work depends on how much you're going to get out of the music industry or any industry for that matter. This is really just, a principle in general. So when it comes to music, what I notice in my experience is that many musicians tend to use their expertise in music and try to use that as a way to leverage themselves in the music industry. That makes complete sense. But unfortunately, most of the musicians that we herald in high regard today are not only respected for their musical talents. They're typically respected more so on their business acumen, on their integrity, as well as how consistent they are with their work and their work ethic, because many of the musicians aren't making most, if not all, of their money in music. Now, what does that mean for the young musician who's, let's say, in college learning trombone right now, right? Well, what that means is you have to figure out and really solidify yourself in a position to where you have leverage as a musician. Now, what does that look like? That means that your talent, your brand, as well as your work ethic can be capitalized for you to invest from or to invest into. this is going to be something that you're going to have to figure out for yourself, and maybe take the help of family, mentors, and experience to help you develop what really works for you as a musician. Because what may work for the violinist who's busking in New York City right now may not work as well for the acoustic guitar player in Texas. So, trying to find that sweet spot for where you can sit in between capitalism and being an artist is going to help you thrive in a way that many musicians are honestly dreaming to be a part of. So, when you think about your own career, try to think about this in a way for you to plant a seed, and then over time and exponentially grow and reap the benefits of. Try not to think of your career as a very, very results driven, very, very, try not to focus too much on the now. Try to focus on the future. And when you do ever focus on the now, make sure you're making the correct steps. A lot of the times we're not practicing, we're not maybe editing videos, we're not creating content, we're maybe thinking too hard about the results without action. And so, what I really want you to focus on is to make sure that anything in your life that you're going to be applying for success, i.e., I'm going to put out a new album, make sure it's going to apply in the real physical world for you. Meaning, if you want to make an album, try to make an album that means something to you so that you will feel passionate enough to actually complete it, one, and to, be driven to put a lot of effort into it. But it has to be of something that will be of value for you, that when you're done, you can now exploit and commodify or turn it into a product or share it with people. That way it can be of value to others. And that's where musicians really get that really controversial, I'll say polarizing decision in their career, because you take something that you've invested so much, maybe months, maybe years, or even just, you're pouring out a very vulnerable part of your life, and you're now expecting people who know nothing and invested nothing to pay top dollar, or what you believe and perceive to be top dollar, for your product, your album, and things like that. So, to try and bring clarity to you as a musician, I want to suggest this. With your music, as I said before, apply it to your real life. But also, amongst that, make sure you have a very clear and open intention with why you're making your album, why you're practicing your instrument. Try not to fall into the rut of doing something because it has to be done, meaning you're making an album to pay bills, or you're making an album simply to make an album. But make an album because you choose to, and you make an album because it's something that brings value to you. That's how you know it will bring value to others, because people who will gravitate towards you, think like you, be in your circle and things like that, they will grow to appreciate this as you bring more value to those people around you. So, as we go forward, I want you to take that with you and understand that everything we do as musicians is bigger than music. It's more than music, and it's bigger than anything that you honestly can imagine. But the vehicle that music is one that we must take care of and not really handle like, our first car. We really want to understand what we're investing when we create music. We want to understand what we're investing when we show other musicians our talents, and when we cooperate together, what we present to the audience should be what we deem elite level and immaculate to what we desire for and from the music industry. So, with all this long-winded stuff, I'm going to sign out. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. About DameSmiff.